Okay, so we do like people that are like us.
We do like people who are like us. We
Ah.
like people who share similar interests. That makes sense. But this is so deep. So it turns out that people are more likely to be friends with people who share their DNA than people who do not share their DNA. I'm not talking about you're related, but you just happen to, through some random assortment of genes, if you looked at the people in my social network, they would have more DNA in common with me than people who are not in my social network.
Wow.
And then you say, well, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And again, it's probably some physical outward manifestation of your temperament, your personality, your likes, your preferences, those kinds of things that our brains just pick up on naturally. So it's not necessarily conscious. And so we're kind of attracted to people who share similar interests, who like similar things, who have similar preferences. And then if that's true, the process goes a little bit deeper. So through conversation, as we reveal more about ourselves and we learn more about the other person, and our attention is devoted to them, then our brain activity starts to get more and more synchronized. In fact, we've demonstrated this. You can take people off the street who don't know each other, you bring them into the lab, and we give them a structured set of questions that was developed about a decade ago, 15 years ago, to promote friendship, basically. So they start out with kind of chit chat, and then it goes to deeper questions. As you move through those sets of questions, your physiology starts to synchronize. And I've seen people crying in front of each other. They don't want to stop this exercise. We've run this in, the US, in China, in Europe, Taiwan. It works everywhere. And our friends, colleagues up at Dartmouth have shown that just the process of having a conversation, what that does is it begins to bring your brains into closer alignment. And this is actually the critical part of forming a friendship. And I also think it's the antidote to the polarization that we see, in the United States right now, because we're not talking to each other.
Yeah.
We have no chance in getting kind of overlap in our brain activity.